So we want to make sure everything is specific to the point. So that way there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. There's no confusion. We're not confusing the Most High. We're not confusing the universe. We're not confusing ourselves. We are locked in on where it is that we want to be at and how we want to get there, and focus in on the next 365 days after that 21-day fast on achieving those goals. So I'm going to put the other videos up on my YouTube page for the last day, so that way you can catch up if this is your first day being in here. But I do appreciate those that are their first day being in here. Along with the intention, setting our intentions, and talking about the 21-day fast, the third component that we do is we do a reading. So we've been reading from the book, Letters to, Letters to a Young Brother by Hill Harper. Reason why I chose that book specifically is all of us in here are men. Majority of us in here are married. Of course, all of us are men. This is infrastructure for men. Majority of us in here are married, and all of us want to achieve something. Some of us struggle with self-confidence. Some of us struggle with believing in ourselves. Some of us struggle with things that we had dealt with that's kind of holding us back. So I felt like this book will be a great book in order just to show you, hey, you're not the only one dealing with it, and B, here's some words of encouragement to help push you through. So we'll take some time at the end of the class to also do some reading and then wrap everything up and go from there. So it's 9:45. We're gonna go ahead and get started. Let me go ahead and share my screen. Oh, 1 second. All right, gentlemen, I want to thank you all. This is session 4 of Setting Your Intentions, presented by Infrastructure of a Man. I want to thank you all for being here. Take a time out of your day to just come together. For those of you all who are not familiar with Infrastructure of a Man, this is a group built for men to ensure that real men prevail. We are a group of men that come together to basically be each other's accountability partner, to uplift one another, to pour into one another, to help one another out, to give each other guidance, knowledge, wisdom, information, and to just be that force that is here to help men retake their proper throne on this earth. The reason why I created Infrastructure of a Man was, well, I noticed that there has been a huge attack on masculinity and on manhood. And you have men who are unsure of themselves, men who are like, I don't know what's going on. Am I doing this right? We got women trying to tell men how to be men, all of these preposterous things going on. And I just wanted to create a space where men could go to be a man. We got a lot of things in the works that we're going to be working on, but just to get this thing started off, I wanted to create something to help people be successful. So once again, I want to thank you all for being here. Recap, and I kind of did that, but I'm going to do it again. Recap what we've accomplished so far. Setting our intentions for the next 365 days. So we chose what it is that we want to focus on. We worked on a SWOT analysis. SWOT is our strengths, our weaknesses, our opportunities, and our threats. So we worked on those things in regards to our actual goal that we want to accomplish, or intention that we want to accomplish. Yesterday, we tackled our SMART goals, which are making sure that our goal is specific, measurable, attainable, specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-based or time-sensitive. So we want to make sure that our goal fell into those categories, because like I stated earlier, we want to make sure that we are as focused and driven as possible, so that way there's no confusion on any end on what it is that we're trying to do, and nothing that's going to hinder us from getting to that end goal that we want to get to. And then we started our 21-day fast. We outlined our 21-day fast, figured out what we were going to fast from, both physical and characteristics. And like I stated earlier, the purpose of the fast is to give an offering to our Creator, to come to Him with, hey, this is what I'm giving up in return for you helping me achieve this goal, for you opening up paths, for you opening up doors, for you clearing my path and clearing my way for me to achieve this in which I want to achieve. All right, so what we will be covering this evening, I keep it, simple to the point. We're going to be doing the 5 W's of success. And then we're just going to talk about our 21-day fast and some improvements, if we have any that we can make to them. We're also going to be doing our reading as well. I'm going to get into what the 5 W's of success are in relation to our goal. And then we're also going to be doing letters from a young brother. We started letter 3 yesterday. It was getting kind of late. So I cut it kind of short, just being respectful of the gentleman's time who was on the call yesterday. But we're going to finish up letter 3 today. All right, so real quick introduction about me for you all who do not know me. I'm Virgil Johnson. I'm an author, consultant, public speaker, father, husband. I've published 2 works. The first one is the book, Making Your Enemy Your Footstool, How to Use the American System to Your Benefit as a Black Individual in America. And the second work that I published is the Garden Bed of Life Journal. In that journal, I walk you through how to take your idea from an idea or a seedling to harvesting it, which is bringing it to fruition. So both of those works you can find on Amazon if you want to go and purchase either one of those. So what are the 5 W's of goal setting? What we've been taught in school was the who, what, when, where, why, and then of course the H, which is the how. The purpose of the 5 W's of goal setting is to it gets you to think past your next move. We're applying these to goal setting because, as we know, a lot of us have been trained a certain way, trained how to think, what to think, all this and that. And majority of us have been trained to be in survival mode. And with being in survival mode, what that does is that gets you to only focus on what's right in front of you. But the purpose of the 5 W's in regards to goal setting is to get you to think past your next move. Because if you're only thinking about your next move, you can never build a future for success. Your present is dictated by what you've already done. So to even focus on your immediate present is already a flaw in itself, because your present is a microcosm of the past decisions that you've already made. You can't do anything to change it. The only thing you can do is change your future by making better decisions now. But you have to think about your future and where it is that you want to go in order to get there. So the 5 W's of goal setting allow you to see the entire picture in regards to goal setting. So this is what we were taught: who, what, when, where, why, how. When we were raised up in school, learning, how to basically dissect text and reading. When we're reading books and novels and biographies and all of that, this is what we were taught: who, what, when, where, why, how. In regards to goal setting, this is how we should view it in this specific order: where, and I'm going to break all of these things down. And if I'm sorry, really quick, forgot to say this earlier. I'm gonna give everybody who's new a few moments to grab pen and paper, pencil, paper, to write these things down. This is something that we're going to be interactive. This is something that's interactive. We're going to be doing questions. We're going to be asking you all questions. We're going to be talking to one another, and we're all here to achieve a goal. So let's get a couple of moments to get our pencil and paper, pen and pad, notepad, whatever you're going to write on. Take your notes down, write your information down on, so that way you could get something from this. So I'll give you all a couple of moments to do that. All right. Hopefully everybody got their pens and paper, pencil, paper, notepad, however you're going to write, whatever you're going to write with. So how we should view it in this order is, and I'm going to break each one of these down: where, why, how, what, who, when. Switching the order up, and you'll see why later on it's important to switch the order up. So it's kind of the same concept, but just in a different order, and a different way to view it. So we're going to jump into the first one, which is where. So the where represents, where do I want to go? Now, for those of you all that have been here the last few days, we've been really breaking down our goal of where it is that we want to go. But when I was sitting doing this earlier, one of the things that I realized is that I wasn't specific, even though we had been talking about it. We did our SWOT analysis. We did our intention. I wasn't fully zoomed in all the way on what it is that I need to be focused on. And so I realized I was still too broad in my intention that I wanted to achieve. So I had to go back in and literally, okay, let me focus in on this intention right here. I had too much going on. And also I wanted to change my numbers around because I realized my focus was on the wrong thing. So the first thing is where do I want to go? So in order for you to first off go anywhere, you got to decide where is it that you want to go. So if you want to achieve something, where is it that I want to get to in my achievement? Like, what is it that I want to do? Like, where do I want to go? And I gave this analogy a few days ago. It's just like jumping in a car. Like, if you don't know where you want to go, you're going to get in the car and you're going to start driving. Or if you're very vague on where it is that you want to go, you're just saying, oh, I want to go somewhere nice, or oh, I want to take a vacation. If you just get in your car and start driving, that's very problematic. And the reason why is, in the example that I gave, if you just start driving and you don't have a specific destination of where you're going, you're going to end up somewhere. Let's just say you're driving and you end up at the beach. Beach is nice, beautiful, bright, sunny. You're in the middle of Florida. You're in Florida. You're in Clearwater Beach, Sarasota Beach. It's July 17th at 1 p.m. on Clearwater Beach. You get there and you start enjoying it, but guess what? You didn't bring an umbrella. You didn't bring any suntan lotion. You didn't bring any food. You didn't bring any water. You didn't bring any type of anything. You didn't bring the proper clothes. So because you don't have on the proper clothes, you just got in the car and started driving. You can't go swimming. You don't have sunscreen lotion or an umbrella, so you can't protect yourself from the sun. You don't have food or water, so you can't stay long to enjoy the beach. So guess what? You got somewhere nice, but you can't stay as long as you would like to enjoy it because you weren't properly prepared, because you didn't know where you were going. Now, if you had gotten in the vehicle and said, I want to go to the beach, guess what you would have put in the car? Everything that was related to the beach. So you could have stayed at the beach all day, but instead you're only going to be able to stay out in the middle of Florida in July, 45 minutes to an hour top. If you're Floridian, maybe 2 hours, maybe, but you're going to leave there with a bad sunburn. So this is why it's very, very, very important to know where you are going in your life. Where do you want to go? Because if you don't know, you're going to reach a level of success, but you're not going to be able to fully enjoy it, and you're going to have to let go of that success sooner than you would like to have. So when it comes to your goal, for those of you all who have created your intention, if you have not, take some time to do it. But real quick, take 5 seconds just to make sure that the goal or the intention that you have, you know specifically where it is that you want to go. So ask yourself this question: where is it do I want to go? And your goal is specific in telling you where it is that you want to go. So real quick, I want to give my example. Those of y'all who were on the call a couple of days ago, y'all know what my intentions are, but I realized I had to hone it down. So I'm going to focus in on the consulting business. So my goal before, or where it is I want to go, I wanted to go to being a six-figure, $100,000 life consultant, personal life consultant for men. But as I was thinking today, that's still not specific enough. And also, that's really not the destination I want to go, because my destination is the money. Yes, I want to make money, but my destination is to help people. So I decided I'm going to change the money amount to a number of people I want to help. So at the end of 2022, I want to help 800 men. I want to be able to have 800 men helped. Hold on one second, gentlemen. Sorry, real quick, having a couple of technical difficulties. Give me just one moment to get back on track. Go back to share my screen. Sorry about that, gentlemen. All right. All right, so we're back. So instead of focusing in on a dollar amount, I want to focus in on the number of people I want to help. So I'm going to change that dollar amount from 6 figures to helping 800 people this year. So I know if 800 men in my personal life consulting business for men, then I should be fine financially. Make sure that my prices are all set up right, everything is good, I will be fine financially. But my goal is to help people, yes, of course, I want to make money. I got a family to take care of. I got these things I want to do, but my goal is to help people. If I do my goal, then the results of me doing my goal will be the financial reimbursement. So I'm not focused on the money. I want to focus on how many people I want to help. Where I want to go is helping 800 people. So top 5 or 10 seconds right now to come up with an intention and make sure you know exactly where it is you want to go. And if you've been here before, make sure your intention falls in and you know exactly where it is that you want to go. And take a couple of seconds to do that. All right, and we're going to move forward. The next step is why. So the next component is why. It's great to know where it is you want to go. Now you have to know why it is that you want to get there. And you have to know why, and you have to ask yourself, why do I want to go there? Many of us, we're humans. We're men. Men are visual creatures. That's who we are. The world is trying to change us, trying to get us to, be disgusted with ourselves because women walk around in scantily clothes and we're not supposed to be attracted to it. We're men. We're visual creatures. That's how we were created. Simple as that. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. So that's literally like us trying to go against nature. But with that also being said, we get attracted to shiny things, nice looking things, and we don't have a why for why we're doing it other than it looks nice. But if you step back and you say, okay, this is where I want to go, and then why I want to go there, if you ask yourself why, and you sit back and you say, well, my why isn't strong enough, then you don't waste your time. You don't waste your energy. You don't waste your effort. You avoid unnecessary heartache. You avoid unnecessary pain. Here's the thing about life. You're going to go through these things. You're going to go through pain. You're going to go through adversity. You're going to go through all these types of things in order to achieve your goal. But why go through it unnecessarily if you don't have to? If that's not something that you really wanted to pursue in the first place, you avoid all of that unnecessary pain. You can save your pain threshold for goals that you actually want to do. Because here's the thing about life. We get worn down, and pretty soon you have very little resistance. And it's not because you're weak, it's because you've wasted all your resistance power on things that you did not really want to do. So if you ask yourself why you want to go where you're going before you start going, then you can eliminate an unnecessary trip. And if your whys are strong enough, then you know, okay, I can do that. So your why. So for those of you all who have your intentions set up, make sure your why is strong enough for that. So for instance, I want to have a life, what did I say? I want to have a personal life consulting business for men that helps 800 men by the end of 2022. Why do I want to do that? I want to do that because right now there is an attack on masculinity and manhood. Many men are lost. Many men feel alone. Many men feel inferior. Many men feel weak. Many men don't know what to do. Many men are afraid and scared to make the next move. So I want to empower men to be able to make that next move and do what they want to do next. Also, 75% of suicides are by men. There's obviously an issue there. I want to at least do my part in trying to cut that, not trying, but cutting that number down. So that's my why on why it is that I want to start a personal life consulting business for men. So you got to figure out what's your why. So I'll give you about 5-10 seconds. If you already have come up with your intention, then make sure that your why is strong enough for that intention. If not, you may have to go back to the drawing board. All right, we have next. Our next one is how. How am I going to do this? So there's nothing wrong with being optimistic, gentlemen. Optimism is what keeps you mentally away from doom and gloom. But when you realize where you want to go, why you want to go there, the next step you have to take is how you want to get there. And how are you going to do this? You have to make sure that you have the proper tools to get there. If I want to take a trip, if I want to go to Venice Beach, and I live here in Atlanta, and I want to go to Venice Beach because I'm a bodybuilder, and they have that bodybuilding park out there on the beach, and I want to go hang around other bodybuilders and professionals and stuff like that, but I don't have a mode of transportation, I don't have money to get on the bus, how am I going to get that done? So I can be like, oh, I'm going to Venice Beach. How? So you have to, how are you going to do this? How are you going to make what it is that you want to do and why you want to do it happen? If you don't know how you're going to do it, then it's not going to happen. So you can have a dream, and you can have a goal, but without a vehicle, you're never going to get there. So get real quick, going over, if you already have yours, make sure you know how you're going to do it. Anybody can have a dream or goal. You have to know how you're going to do it. So for me, my personal life, consulting business for men, how I plan on helping 800 men is by having multiple social media platforms. That's one. So YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. Also attending different seminars, going on different podcasts, going anywhere where my voice can be heard. So seminars, podcasts, other web pages, doing guest writing for blogs, continuously writing books, coming up with journals, doing pop-up shops. These are all of the ways, all of the vehicles that I can use in order to reach my destination of helping 800 men in my life consulting business. So you all have to sit back and think, how can I do this? How can I achieve this? It'll take about 5-10 seconds to do that. Okay, the next thing is what? So we got where it is that we want to go. Why do we want to go there? How are we going to get there? Now, the next question, I think this is probably the most important one, is what is going to be required of me? See, we come up with these great things that we want to accomplish or things we want to do. And we think about the thing, we think about the prize, but we don't think about the process to get to the prize. The process is what is required of you. Process is the work. Are you willing to do the work in order to achieve what it is that you want to achieve? So you can have a dream, but if you don't want to do what it takes to get there, then you can't. Going back to my trip to Venice Beach analogy. In order to get from Atlanta to Venice Beach, let's do this real quick. Let me put in my GPS, Venice Beach. To get to Venice Beach from here, Apple Maps, it takes driving. This is what my GPS says, is Apple GPS. Y'all may have something different. 1 day and 7 hours. So 24 hours plus 7 hours. That's what, 31 hours? So it's 31 hours. Am I willing to drive for 31 hours to go to the beach in my Venice Beach? You got to think how cramped you're going to be. And that's just, the GPS is giving you if you don't stop. You still got to, let's just think about some of the things in our Venice Beach analogy. Let's think about some of the things on the road to the beach. You got to stop for gas multiple times. You might be driving through certain parts of the Midwest where it get hot. You might have to pull over for a little bit to let your car cool down. Have to stop for an oil change, stop for food. You can't drive 31 hours straight, so you got to stop the rest. Now, when you stop the rest, guess what? Now you got to pay. Now you got to spend even more money to stop at a hotel. How cramped your leg's gonna be? You got to get out and stretch. If you have poor circulation, you might risk a blood clot. So now your health is at risk taking a drive like that. Like, these are all the things we don't think about. Things like, we just, oh man, all you saw was yourself on the beach lifting weights, doing pull-ups with other bodybuilders. You didn't think about, man, if I got poor circulation, I could get a blood clot and end up in the hospital, not on Venice Beach. That's how it is with your dreams and your goals. You have to think about all of that. You got to take into account some of the negative things that can happen. You have to think about that, because you have to prepare for that as well. Because just because something negative happens, that don't mean that you gotta that your desire for your dream stops. Or it shouldn't deter you. So you have to sit back and think, what is required of me? Using me, my personal life consulting business for men, helping 800 men, that breaks down to about 72 men a month. If I talk to 800 different men, that's about, no, I'm sorry. Wait, yeah, that's about 72, a little 72, 73 men a month. 30 days in a month. If we do every day, and I don't work every day because I keep Sabbath, but if let's just say every day, keep the numbers equal and simple, 30 days, 70 divided by 30. So that's a little 2.3 men a day, every day for a year. Now, of course, I could chop it up. Maybe I could do 6 men in a day, or, 4 men or 8 men, whatever, and kind of cut down the amount of days that I'm working. I could do that, but still, that is what is required of me. So I'm not trying to take a shortcut. I have to look at the worst case scenario. What is required of me? The time missed away from my family. Sometimes missing certain trips. Sometimes having to be up late. What if one of you men are going through, like, something that's a traumatic experience, and you call me at 1 o'clock, hysterical. I got to be up on the phone. Maybe I just fell asleep at 11 because me and my wife was out, having our couples. And you call me frantic at 1 o'clock. I haven't slept, but I still got to talk to you. Like, these are the things that you got to think about. Am I up for that challenge? This is why you have to realize what is required of me, and figuring out if these are the things that are required of me. Am I up for that challenge? If I'm not up for that challenge, that's okay. Let me find something else that I can be up for the challenge for. But you have to realize what is required of you, so that way you don't allow yourself, so that way you already know the pitfalls before you get on the road, before you get on the journey. These are all the things that we're focusing in on, being specific about, so that way when we go to the Creator, there's no ifs, ands, buts. Because here's the thing, I don't know if you all realize, but majority of us, we are living the life that we asked for. So if you aren't content with your life, just think about, how detailed were you when you asked for the things that you asked for? Did you think about the things that you are unhappy about right now? Did you think about those things when you asked for what it is that you asked for? When you asked for what it is that you're living right now? Did you think about that? You probably did not. That's why you're unhappy. But if you thought about it, guess what? When it came up, you would have thought about, how can I at least improve? If I can't improve the circumstance, how can I improve my view on it, so that way it doesn't hold me down? A lot of you all know I have 7 children. Now, when I was young, dumb idiot, 16, 17 years old, I said, oh, I want to have 10 children. I didn't think about, what if I didn't know I was going to have 7 children with 5 women. I just thought 10 children. So because I didn't think about, well, what if I have children with women and it don't work, and then I have to go have children with more women? Okay, what about child support? Okay, what about having to pay for this and pay? I didn't think about none of that. But I asked the universe for a lot of children, and I got a lot of children. Now, luckily, I appreciate all my children. I love all my children. I don't regret any of my children. And I enjoy the burden of the blessing of having a lot of children. I enjoy that blessing. It's a blessing. Though it's a burden, it is a blessing. But some people don't. But some people don't realize that's what they ask for. So when it comes to your dream or your goal or your intent, take about 5-10 seconds right now to make sure that you have written down everything that is required of you to meet that goal. All right, we're going to move on to the next one, which is the who. Who do I need to? So no man is an island. No man can do it by himself. No man can do anything. No man knows everything. No man has everything. No man has all skill sets. You need a team. You need other individuals that'll be able to help you do it. Even right now, 4 of my 7 children living at home with me right now. Who do you think are watching them as I'm doing this presentation with you all? My wife. If my wife isn't here, I have one child, an infant sitting here out because he might be hungry, 2 older children running around talking about they're hungry or making noise in the background playing video games or whatever. So my team in the house is my wife. I need my wife in order to be able to accomplish me helping you all. And as I continue to grow, even in this, I need you all to be on to listen to what it is that I have to say and trust me to be able to achieve your goal. I can't speak to the wall. Someone has to be here. So we all need somebody. So you have to sit down and think after you go through where you want to go, why you want to go there, how you're going to get there, what is required of you, who is going to help you get there. And I need you all to understand this. And for those of y'all who are watching this recording at a later date, it doesn't make you less of a man to have help. I don't know where this stigma came from society. I do know where it came from. Aren't less of a man because someone's helping you. We all had, like, when you came out the womb, you had help. Your mother had to push you out and the doctor had to pull you out. Everything in your life was help. So we get in this mindset where we're like, oh, it makes me feel weak to have help. But if you didn't have help coming out the womb, you wouldn't have made it out the womb. So it doesn't make you less of a man. It doesn't make you weak. It doesn't make you feeble. It doesn't make you soft. It doesn't make you a punk. It doesn't make you any of those things to have a deficit and to find someone who your deficit is their strength. It doesn't make you any of those negative things to bring them in and say, hey, I need you to make up my deficit. Too many people spend too much time trying to build up their deficits. Focus on your strength. Find people that's great at what you're weak at and allow them to support you. And then do what it is that you're supposed to do. Very simple. So if I know Derek, you're on the call. You wanted your goal. Matter of fact, what's the day? Because we want to make sure we get this in. Derek, on the 5th, you want to have a YouTube channel. Now, I don't know all the skill sets that you have, Derek, but I don't know if you are a great recorder, orator, speaker, video editor, transcriber. Like, I don't know if you're great at all of those things, but why try to be? Why try to be? Why not just focus in on making the video and then sending it to someone who's great at editing? Great at adjusting, lighting, warmthness, all of that. Yeah. It don't make you weak because you just sent the video to somebody else to do it. No, guess what? Now you can focus instead of having to spend 6 hours on editing. And I'm just using you as an example, Derek. But instead of spending 4 or 6 hours on editing the video because you really don't know what you're doing. Now you can spend 4 to 6 hours on making more content while that other person does what they're great at, which is edit the video. So let's take 10 seconds to write down who is it that we're going to need to get there. Now, you may not know who specifically, like a name. Like I can name my wife in certain aspects, but I may not know a great video editor right now, but I can write down I'm going to need a video editor in order to edit these videos that I do for y'all. I'm going to need, a great web host. All of these things. Make sure my website is up.
Yeah, I got you.
Web designer, all of these things. Those are things so take a few seconds to write those things down for yourself. All right. And then the last thing that we need, the last thing that you need, where you're going, why you're going there, how you're going to get there, what is going to be required of you. Now, the last thing that you need is when. When are we going to get started and how long will it take? So this goes kind of back to when we did our SMART goals, time-based. Your goal has to have a realistic but ambitious goal. When you want to get there kind of ties to that as well. So when are you going to get started? Like if you want to, do XYZ, like yesterday, Derek, you said you want to get started. You put a date on it. When? Which is January 5th. You want to get your YouTube channel started. And then how long will it take? So you have to make sure okay, when do I want to get started? For my goal, I've already started, but let's just say I want to start now. And how long will it take on my time frame that I would like? Now we want to know how long it takes, but I want to make sure also, fellas, that we're not goal driven. We're process driven. So we could put a date on something, but at the end of the day, we never know. It could take longer, it could take shorter. And the average time to do a college degree is 4 years, but some people it takes 6. Some people it take 8, 12, 20 years. Some people graduate in a year and a half. So, but you go there with the idea of thinking, okay, it's gonna take me 4 years, but it may take you shorter or longer. So it's the same thing here. But guess what? When 4 years hit, you don't be like, oh, I'm gonna give up and quit. No, you just keep going because you're focused on the process. So that way you can get the prize. So take a few moments to do that. When are we gonna get started and how long will it take? All right, so we focused in on that. Our 5 W's. Let me see. Give me 1 second here. We got our 5 W's. Alex, do you mind sharing? Do you have your 5 W's written down and they're tied together in reference to your goal? Or do you still need some time to work on those?
I mean, I just finished up the win side of it now, but I mean, okay. I can work with it.
All right, share with us yours real quick.
So I mean, my overall my goal from the last couple of days was focusing in on my confidence more or less when I feel like in the past I was being more passive when I'm called to be a leader and asking myself why I should be that person, but and putting it in the 5 W's, the where when I broke it down was I wanted to start being a better service leader with or without much prep time. So whether I'm given a notice, whether I'm just called in the moment, whether I'm just in a place of strangers or someone that I'm familiar with, I just want to be more ready and confident in myself to be able to do that in that moment.
Okay.
The why I broke it down to I want to be a stronger leader in those situations so I can be a better leader for my home and maybe even those that I'm not even thinking in the moment that I'm called to assist. You never know when you're going to be in that situation where someone needs to be there. You talked about earlier as far as like getting down the suicide numbers in men, just like, and there's so many times in life, like just a simple conversation could help someone to just change their direction. I mean, it takes a stranger sometimes, it takes someone familiar, but I just want to make sure that I'm confident in my ability to be that tool when I'm needed. But the how, the first thing I wanted to put down just studying more in the word, because I mean, you're always more confident the more you know your tools. So
Yeah.
I'm a more confident worker when I know what it is that I'm supposed to be doing or how I'm supposed to be doing it. Um, Another how was praying as practice, whether I'm praying by myself in the morning, whether I'm praying with my family at night. Just using it as practice. I mean, that's going to continue to build the confidence.
Yes, sir.
um and I wrote down the how too, is as I think I had the how, this, well, at least this one the same, the how and the what, is just continuing and different things of fellowship. So and it's on the what as far as like accountability, having someone that I can talk to, someone that's asking what steps I'm taking as far as to continue that process. So that way I'm not just letting it fall into the back burner, you know. And that kind of transitioning into the what, but the consistency, what it takes is, I mean, doing that every day. I wrote down a plan to every morning be praying for my family, and every night be praying with my family. Because
Good.
not only do I want to do it for them, but at the same time, I want to teach my kids on the importance of doing it every day, the importance
Yeah.
of reaching out every day. I mean, just to make sure that's the last thing that they got in their mind before they go to sleep.
Mhm.
I mean,
Good. And then your who is it that you need to get there?
I mean the who. I mean the most important one would be a relationship with the Most High. I mean,
Okay.
relationship with God is going to keep that as the most important thing. But as far as, I mean, here on earth, like you said, my wife is. I mean, that's the most accountability I'm going to get. Nobody's going to tell me I'm messing up more than my wife's going to tell me when I'm messing up.
Yeah.
That's honest communication.
Hmm.
I put fellowship in general, but a mentor. Someone that I feel as if I can talk to and try to climb to, not to say that they're better than me at it, but at the same time, someone that I can look to when I need to figure out what my next step can or should be.
Absolutely.
And I put down my dad in general, because at the same time, I mean, he already got me this far in life. I just want to continue to grow on that relationship
Gotcha.
too.
Good. And then what's next? The when? When
The
are you going to
win,
get started, and how long will it take?
yeah, that's where I was where I left
Oh, you
off.
still working on that?
I mean, I originally, when I'm going to get started, I actually wrote tomorrow morning. I put tomorrow's date
Okay.
because, I mean, tonight's a little late to get the pray with the kids, but
Gotcha.
you know, it's something I want to put it in ahead of time. Uh, so tomorrow's going to be my day to get started as far as praying in the morning for them and praying in the night with them.
Gotcha.
Uh, and how long it's going to take, I mean, that part I haven't really answered to myself yet, but that's more or less where I left off.
Okay, good. All right, good, man. Good with that. Real quick, Mickey Ya, my bad. Mickey Ya. Um,
Yeah, you butchering it still. Shalom,
yeah.
Maka. All A's, all A's. Maka, yeah, it's all good.
Mikey Ya, bro. Mikey Ya, yeah. Real quick, I know you ain't been on the other call, so you ain't really had a chance to get the stuff in depth, but at least with the 5W's, we
Come
just
on with
gonna
it.
ask you for the first one. Where do you want to go?
I'm going through everything. What you talking
Oh,
about?
okay, good. Let's hear it then.
All right, so mine's kind of similarly aligned with yours. You know what I mean? I'm gonna just talk through it. You know what I mean? Like I said, I ain't write a whole bunch, but
Gotcha.
like I said, I definitely like it. Once I broke it down, I was like, man, it's the WWHWW. You know what I mean? So I was
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, all right. So first you said where.
Yes, sir.
So overall, as a man here, it's very, very tough. So I said, I want to be able to be in a position, a status, more so than anything. I want to be able to set myself apart. So with that being said, I said, hold on, I put it down at the bottom. I said financial freedom.
Gotcha.
I feel like that status, like I want to be in a position to be able to provide freedom for my children, not just financially, but in general, like to be able to free their mind, like so mentally,
Yes, sir.
physically, spiritually. I want to be able to have books and different things like that. I want to be able to have resources granted to them that I can actually leave them in a will. You know what I mean? Even outside of that, trust estates. So whenever I talk about like just financial freedom, as far as being like the where financially right here in the physical right now, if I was able to be financially free, that would allow me the time to do everything else I need to be able to build the infrastructure. So that's why whenever I seen the infrastructure of a man, it's like, yeah, it is that brotherhood that's needed. So every man, where we all got to understand, every man should have his own platform, and other men should support that platform as a man. So that's why I love what you're doing here. So, that's my.
Hey, and we going real quick. I don't know if you ever heard of at-home banking before.
Yeah,
well, yeah, we're gonna talk about that later.
We gonna definitely see that. What I'm saying, like even within my business, I've been wanting to do some stuff too. So, you know what I mean, like it's called infinite banking, in-home banking.
Yes,
like
infinite banking, yes, sir,
bro. So that's what I'm saying with the trust. You know what I mean? As like that's the certain things that listen, bro, it's a certain core standard that we should have as a people that I would love to be able to talk to people. Also to be able to say, hey, certain things you're gonna need even before getting a wife, you know what I mean? But like you said, hey, you want to have a certain amount of children, certain amount before dating. As a true man, like bro, before even dating, there's certain things that you should have, because it feels a lot better when you do have it as a man, and then you go out into the world and you can be confident as a man and hey, this is what I want, and you gonna get that. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's but yeah, the second one is the why. Generating wealth for the house of Israel. And when I say for the house of Israel, I ain't talking about just mine. Like I'm talking about like it's us. Like I look at like the relationship with us and the Ten Commandments. You know what I mean? How we treat the Most High, how we treat others. So family is first. Outside of that, my family benefits everybody. The type of energy that we put out and all. So it's like, well, why not? Why not have my family in position to be able to help others and help the people that's helping us? You got plenty of people out here that's helping us. Like they really for us. But like I said, we just have to be in a position to receive them whenever they do come to help us. After that, it's the how. I say about any, and like I said, this is just me listening today. So I say about any righteous means necessary. Current job, main juice, which is my business, doing pop-up shops. Right now, I'm looking into I'm teaching and coaching right now, but I said I'm looking to possibly get out of that so I can focus on my household. You know what I mean? Because I plan to homeschool and possibly doing claims adjuster. Work from home, doing this claims adjuster, get my money and get my house, all the way in order where I know I can measure with my child. You know what I mean, on a daily. Because I do already have her working on like IXL, the letters IXL is a program here, but after that it was what? So
what is going to be required of me?
So it's gonna be build business and personal credit to a position to where assets in the trust for Israel, to have a brick and mortar, to have land for the apothecary, you know what I mean, to be able to feed myself, feed my family. Once you start cutting out these different bills, like that's my thing. Let's cut out unnecessary bills, different things like that, so that now we can invest the money. We got the land, not just land for myself, but land say, hey y'all, where y'all want fruits and veggies at? Hey, let's all put in on this and have a co-op. Like all our decisions matter. So it's like, okay, hey, even to say, okay, hey, I got this business going, bro. What you need? Like on some true brotherhood, So and that right there even segue into the fifth one. Who? You know what I mean? Us as Israel. First, I am going for our people. But at the end of the day, like we're here to benefit everybody. So that's why I always tell people our energy, it's duality in the universe. You reap what you sow, it go up, come down, all that. So you have to put good out to get good back in return. And you shouldn't even necessarily expect it, but you should see it coming because of your deeds. Like you should see good coming because you're putting the work in. And outside of that, you said the win. I said January 5th because that's like next paycheck hit. You know what I mean? So it's just like, right then I'm gonna do it the smart way with that paycheck and go ahead and start investing now. First paycheck of this pagan, you know what I mean? Gregorian New Year. all right, let's go ahead and get it started. But that's why I said, like, let's get it going now before our new year come in for the next year. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yep.
I want to be able to say before that one comes in, before our new year comes in for the next, not this one coming, but the next one after 360 days from now. You know what I mean? I want to be able to say, okay, hey, I'm in position now to where, hey, I can set myself up to retire in the next 5 to 7 years.
Got you. Yep. And I'm gonna send
Agreed.
you my the videos of the lessons we did before, so that way you can really hone in, because you right there on track. Yep.
Yeah, man. That's why I say it's just putting everything together, bro. But that's why I feel like platforms like this right here is definitely necessary. Like I said, in the who aspect, you know what I mean? Like, that's key. But even just the question part, because I tell a lot of people, like, growing up, bro, I asked the question why a lot. And I come to realize once I came into like a certain path that I was like, man, my name is Michael. I love Michael. Michael means who like y'all. But that who, that what, that why factor was because of that. So I had to question things because it wasn't making sense to me. So it's like once you actually put it all together, it's like, man, that's that true balance.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man.
Sir. Appreciate that.
Oh, yeah.
REI, you got yours? You next? No, my bad. I'm sorry. Derek. Go ahead and hit us with yours real quick.
With the one from yesterday?
No, from today, the 5W's. So the first one was the where. Where do I want to go?
That's why I'm kind of like everywhere right now.
Oh, okay. All right. So shoot, hold on. So right now, what we've been doing was we on the for the day. So we still keeping our same goal that we've been having, but we want to make sure it falls into the components of where. So where do I want to go? Why? Why do I want to go there? How, which is how am I going to do this, which is the goal? What is going to be required of me? Who do I need to get there? And when will I get started, and how long will it take? So I know your actual intention that you came up with. I know yours was getting the house by May, correct?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
That's like the more the person one, yes.
Yes, sir. So that one, and then I know you had the YouTube channel as well, but so you're where, let's just say you're where do I want to go? I want to have a house by May. Why?
Yeah.
You got your personal reasons on why. How are you going to do this? So what are the things that you're going to do to have your house by May? What is going to be required of you? So what are the things that are going to be required of you to have your house by May? Who do you need to get there? And when are you going to start, and how long will it take? So you want to answer those questions. You want me to go back through the slides real quick so you can write them down?
Yeah.
Oh, you got it. Huh?
I got the where. I'm pretty much got a little bit.
Okay. You wanna go through it, or you want me to come back to you?
The where, like the area I'm moving into is not too far from like the in-laws, you know, and like my family, so they can be able to watch the kids. I have little children.
Okay.
You know, so I say like the southwest side of Fort Worth.
Okay.
And then why? Because my family, you know, as a man, you know what I mean, have my own household for my family.
Gotcha.
Like the what?
No, the how
like
is next. How
the
is
how?
next. Yep.
Being present, getting my credit cards down.
Okay. And then what is going to be required of you?
Putting the work.
So like, for instance, you get your house. Okay, cool, you got the house. Or not even that. What is going to be required? So you want to get a house. From now to May, that's what, 5 months, right?
Yeah.
So you may have to work a whole bunch of overtime. You may have to work 2-3 jobs. You know, you may have to only sleep 3, 4 hours a day, stuff like that. So that might be what like what is required of you to get the house. Let me see here. Who do you need to get there?
I have a realtor right now, and I have a loan, like a loan broker.
Good. Okay, good. So
yeah,
you
so I
already
pretty
got
much
that.
know what
Good.
I gotta do. So And I'm already in the process of getting my credit cards back down
Okay, good. That's
to
good.
30%.
Yeah.
And that just like the personal goal right there. Like that's more personal. Like that's
Gotcha.
you already know like my situation.
Yes, sir. But as far as would you want to talk about your business goal?
The business goal, now it's kind of like a broad right now. Like
Okay.
I haven't really just broke it down specifically
Okay.
because there's so many things that I'm good at.
Got you. Well, we'll definitely get back on that. We'll work to break that down for you. I'm gonna call. Matter of fact, I'm gonna call you tomorrow, and we're gonna work on that. All right.
All right.
All right. REI, you ready?
Yeah, I'm driving home, but you can ask me. I got it off the top of the head.
All right, cool. Where do you want to go?
As into when you say that question, you mean like a location, or what do I want to be like a status?
Yeah, status. Like, where do you like? What
Oh.
goal or intention are you trying to achieve? What is it that you're trying to achieve? So when I say
I
where
want
do
to
you
be
want to go, what is it that you're trying
a senior computer developer and robot technician.
Okay.
I really want to make me
Why?
an Iron Man suit if you want to be serious, but you know,
You said
we'll keep it. If you want to just keep it normal, we'll keep it normal today.
Hey,
Hey,
I'm
Alex,
with it.
I know
Hey,
that's
Salaki,
it.
but I'm with it. Hey, I'll try it on and work it out for you.
Hey, as long as you see the vision, I got a vision plan behind this. We need to be ready for anything, you know.
Hey, Alex, that fall in your line too. I know you love you some Iron Man.
So no, I don't like Iron Man. I just need the power just in case, you know, anything happens. If there's a problem, I'll be able to call it. Like I just like the ability to create things like that. Like that's fine.
Gotcha.
Nah, bro, you want that like the Last Dragon, bro.
Yeah, but you gotta be. If we going into the robot age, I gotta make it into mine. I gotta make it to a Genji warrior. What is a Gundam warrior?
Hey,
Yeah.
I gotta just be ready. So for anything.
yes, sir.
All right. Why do you want to do that? Like, why do you want to go? Why do you want that specific goal?
I like to create. My why is I want to create the metaverse. I want to create. Like I like to code and I like to create. That's my why I want to do it.
Okay. All right. How are you going to do this? The thing that you want to do, how are you going to do it?
By making the concept, actually creating the project, setting the times to continue to code, to set my times aside to practice my craft and to always to practice it, right?
Yeah. I mean, hey,
because I want to be
you got to sit down and really hone in on it, but yeah, that's a good start.
Okay.
What is going to be required of you?
Time, effort, and dedication.
All right, so you have to hone in on that too. Who do you need to get there?
A team. I need a team of developers. I need a team of artists. I need a team of graphic designers, marketing. I need a team.
All right. And when are you going to get started, and how long will it take?
Every day in 6 months, at least an hour a day. At least an hour a day to work on it. At least an hour a day to plan on it. About 6 months.
All right. Yeah, I'm about to call you tomorrow too. We're going to sit down and do this tomorrow. Call you tomorrow too. All right. All right, good, fellas. That's good. Good. We got, and a couple of y'all, this y'all first day in, so y'all weren't really, fully prepared, and that's all right. But we good. So the next thing we're gonna move to talking about a 21-day fast. This is day 2. Day 1 yesterday. We had some good things that we took from it. Some trying times. I know today for myself personally, I didn't find myself as hungry, which was a good thing. But I didn't find myself as hungry. It showed me that the things in which I was struggling with in regards to wanting to eat, it was mental. And it, like, this fast, like, especially today, it really showed me, like, no, I can control it. Like, I don't have to, like, I don't have to stop and get something. I don't have to spend money on food. Like, no, I can control it. I can wait till I get home. I can take me something with me, things like that. I'm not really having cravings yet, but it's only day 2. So that's that. Derek, you want to tell us how your day 2 went? How your day 2 is going for your fast?
Oh, day 2 is going lovely. I didn't eat any processed food. I cooked some chicken breast and I fixed some greens and some carrots.
Okay, good.
Eating healthy. And I ate some raw bell peppers earlier.
Oh yeah, you and them raw bell peppers, boy.
Man, I'm telling you, man, they just it got more vitamins than just drinking orange juice, man.
Yeah, yep. You're right.
And then I didn't really just scroll on social media. Like I mentioned, I got off,
Yes, sir.
And then I didn't have any alcohol either.
Oh, good. That's the biggest one right there. Good. Proud of you, man. Good. I know.
And I want to give Arya a shout out too, man, because we had a meaningful convo earlier too, man. He put me on some things as well.
Okay, good. All right, good, man. And also, in regards to the fast, outside of the physical part, I want to let y'all know, man, I appreciate y'all because even though some of the things that y'all had that wasn't on my fast, I found myself stopping those things as well. Like, for instance, when you just mentioned the scrolling, like I noticed that I would do that too. I was like, oh no, I got to stop it too. And it was because y'all brought it to my attention, like, oh no, I got to stop doing that too. So even though that's not something I wrote down, that's still something I end up fixing myself as well, because it's something that I need to do to stay on track today anyways. So like, and I was able to tie that to my not procrastinating, because there was a couple of business things I had to get done. And I found myself making my post on Instagram or creating my, writing up my post of what I'm going to do. And then I went to go scrolling and now I was like, nope, got to stop. And I can't scroll because I can't procrastinate, because that was one of the things I wanted to give up. So boom, I was able to go get all the stuff I need to get done, turned in, and I was good. Alex, what about you?
Yeah, pretty good. Like D said, we talked about it yesterday, and I mean, kind of help motivate at the same time, and and like you were just saying a second ago, just things that you'd even realize that you wanted to work on, having that fellowship and that community helps you see things that you don't even see in the moment. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I've been doing a lot better. I haven't had any fast food issues. I was main thing with the physical side is I was always taking the easy way out, especially when it comes to feeding the kids and working and everything. It's so much easier to stop and get something to eat compared to getting home when you're tired or trying to cook something. But so just having that accountability helps to just say no in that moment and just do that extra 10, 15 minutes, whatever it is. But
that's all it do, B. That's all it is. The number 10, 15 minutes. That's it.
That's it. I mean, especially my kids, man. They happy with a hot dog. It don't take much. Yeah. That's a blessing in itself. I mean, take that for what it is. But as far as more mental side was, I know I had write down working on being less passive. I felt like having that conversation yesterday, and I mean just what we've been doing the last few days has been each day a step in that direction, and focusing more on the word. I mean, I got those times where I set that time aside and I'll spend a good 10, 15 minutes each morning just focusing reading, not just reading, but trying to understand each text. Not just reading it to read a book, but reading it to understand it. But so just putting that intent when I'm reading. And another thing I think I wrote down was being the patience and every day I feel like, man, it's a new challenge to try to be patient when it comes to the kids, but just representing that most got to be looking at me the same way. Like, man, like I try to remember how much I need forgiveness, to be looking at my kids like, all right, you know, you guys, no one's perfect. So it helps me to relook at it when I'm trying to be a better father that way. So
absolutely. Good. Aria and Mikaya, my bad, Mikaya. If y'all want to jump in on the fast, like I said, we on day 2. Today was day 2. So y'all could jump in for the next 18 days. Just, you know, come up with a few things that you want to fast from physically, and then come up with a few negative characteristics that you want to fast from. And like I said, like we said at the beginning of the call, these are the things that we're going to be going to the Father and say, hey, this is what I'm offering. I'm offering that I've sacrificed these things that I love dearly, and also sacrificed these negative characteristics to make a change in myself. This is what I want you to bring to me. So if y'all want to think about that, I'm going to go ahead and jump into reading this Hill Harper, and then I'm going to read that for a few minutes, and then leave off where we stopped at yesterday, and then we'll do a little question and answer section at the end if y'all want to. Y'all got any questions or anything like that? And then we'll wrap it on up. All right. All right. So I'm leaving off. I'm gonna leave off right here. Oh, this is where I left off at yesterday. All right. Rejection is God's protection. He has finally met his father and discovered that the man he had dreamed would one day rescue him was the opposite of a warm, loving, welcoming father. Hill Harper right now he wrote a letter to a young brother, you know, about how important it is for family, and he's giving him a story about a friend who was angry because his dad wasn't in his life. And then now he's talking about how the friend realized, you know, his dad rejecting him was God's protection. And this is what he's talking about, that father. He thought that dad would be something great, loving, and warm, but come to find out the dad was none of that. So he actually would have probably been worse off had his dad been in his life. So that's where we at right now. He thinks if he had grown up with his father, that he probably would have inherited his father's bitterness, cynicism, and unhappiness. My friend considers his upbringing by his single mother a far better alternative than the life with a man who would have never made him feel loved and accepted. So the most important thing I learned is that my absentee parent didn't leave me. She left the situation. My mom left the relationship with my father because she felt she had no other choice. Even though your father may have left when you were a baby, it's important that you realize that he didn't leave you. He didn't even know you. Your father left for reasons that had nothing to do with you. He may have been scared of the situation, and fear often makes people run away. Perhaps at the time, your father wasn't strong enough to handle his responsibility, but that's not a reason to resent him or be angry with him. He was doing the best he could, even if his best was not good enough for you. That's a reason to embrace him, to be more compassionate toward him, because like I said, you are the newest perfect model, and you can handle things he can't. We need to learn to be more compassionate toward those who are the weakest. It's important not to take people's humanness personally. As human beings, we make many mistakes that often affect those around us. It is also important to be able to forgive people, even if those people are your parents, so that you can have a healthy, happy life. I'll never forget the first time I came to understand that my parents were human beings, works in progress, as opposed to superhuman, godlike creatures I believed them to be. It was a huge wake-up call that made me understand that parents are just people who are trying to do the best they can with what they have been given. Sometimes things happen in your life that can cause you to question everything, especially the strength of your family's love for you. After my parents' divorce, it was important to my father that he be the one to raise his 2 sons. Eventually, my brother and I ended up living with him. I will never forget the day my mom was visiting us at my dad's new house. I heard arguing, and I came out into the hallway just as the argument turned physical. I saw my mother crying as she leaned up against the wall. As a 7-year-old, witnessing my father's anger and my mother's tears made me painfully aware of my vulnerability. That one moment shattered my innocence. I felt like I didn't know these people at all. They were not the parents who had always nurtured and protected me. If 2 people who promised to love each other forever could turn so completely to hate, then how secure was I in their love? For a long time afterward, I retreated into myself, and I waited in fear for the next event that would rip apart the already tattered seams of my family life I had known. It was the first time I saw my parents as vulnerable, flawed individuals with their own set of problems who could not always protect me. As I began to see the world with different eyes that day, I learned to depend more on myself and less on my parents. I guess I saw that even though your family may love you, we are all individuals who must make our own way in this world separate from anyone, even our parents. And so it is up to us to make ourselves whole, complete, secure, and unhappy and unreasonably happy. As much as I am upset by my parents arguing, I was more affected by seeing my mother so vulnerable. She had always been a strong, proud woman. As I matured, I realized that even though my mother looked like a victim at that moment, it was only at that moment. The choices she made and the life she led assured me of that. At a time where segregation was still in full effect and most women, let alone Black women, didn't even think of going to college, my mother not only went to college, she went to graduate school and became one of the first African-American female anesthesiologists in the country. Dr. Marilyn Hill Harper is far from a victim. I'm proud of my mom, and I know that you are proud of yours too. Now see, there's another thing we have in common. Both of our mothers deserve to be loved and respected, especially by us. You say you have to solve the problem of your mom having to be both mom and dad, but not every problem is immediately solvable. There are some things that you may have to spend your entire life working through. They don't always affect you every day or hold the same importance over time. It's like the break that occurred between my parents, which in certain ways still affects me to this day. I still struggle with male-female relationships, never going past a certain point of intimacy. My parents split before you were even born, and I still haven't solved all the issues about it. But it doesn't stop me from living passionately and being unreasonably happy. I am still working on this area of my life and allowing myself to be more open and trusting in my relationships. So it's okay to still have unresolved feelings about your dad. The most important thing is to keep them in perspective and trust that you will solve them over time. Be patient with yourself, your mom, and your dad. Truth be told, two parents in the home who aren't happy together isn't necessarily better than having a single parent. For example, one of my best friends in the world, a dude named James, was raised by both parents. Throughout his entire childhood, his parents fought and yelled at each other every day. There was no peace in the house. To this day, he acknowledges that after his father left, the house became more peaceful because the argument stopped. Now, clearly having a strong, healthy two-parent family is ideal, but I know so many people, including myself, that have been raised extremely well by a single parent. There is nothing wrong with that. Also, you may not understand this now, but there are ways that being raised by just your mom can be beneficial. It's a deeper relationship that forms between a mother and son. It's a different kind of bond. Your mom has been forced to be both your mom and dad, witnessing the daily struggles, whether financial, emotional, or physical, of your mom can give you a better understanding of women. Moreover, it teaches you how to respect all women because these girls you see at your school will eventually, years and years from now, become someone's mom. Just as you don't call your mom bitch or hoe, you shouldn't refer to any woman or girl in that way, no matter how old they are. Words have power, so use them accordingly and respect women. In your letter, you told me that things at home aren't going the way you want them to go. It might seem easier to close your eyes and ears and act like you're just passing time, but you're not. Your life's not. It just isn't. It might seem easier to ignore the fact that the choices for your life are yours to make, but get this, not making any choices is making a choice. Do you hear me? If you choose to do nothing, then you are making a choice. You're actively choosing to do nothing. No matter what you do or don't do, you're always making a choice. So why not make a choice to be active and win at your life? That means choosing to deal with what is going on in your life today. Choose to do the things that will make you happy, actively and passively. Choose to do the things that will make things around you happy. Commit to being an active architect of your own life and turning your dreams into reality. For me, that means waking up every morning, getting on my knees, thanking God for the blessings of for another day, and whispering the commitment to live this to its fullest. I commit to live fully each day, each minute, each second, one day at a time. If you make this kind of commitment on a daily basis, then eventually they will stack up to be pretty awesome. strings of very cool seconds, minutes, and days, and that can be an unreasonably happy lifetime. I'm gonna finish up this page. I'm gonna finish up this page and then we'll read some more of it tomorrow. This letter 3 is a long letter. Before I forget, I want you to know how proud I am of the way you used your patience in dealing with your mom. It couldn't have felt good to argue with her that day, but the fact that you walked away before it became too heated was admirable. The fact that you then went to a place where you could be alone and breathe was a sign that you are ready to change your life for the better. It's a sign that you are ready to be happy. All right, so that's that. We're gonna finish this up. You keep reading this letter.
Yeah, I gotta get that book.
Yeah. Let me see. Hold on. We'll go back to the Zoom. So real quick, is there anything that anybody want to add any questions and answers real quick? I want to talk something real quick. In a book when he talked about forgiveness. I was reading what's that book called? Battle Cry by Jason Wilson. And in the book, Jason talks about what true forgiveness is. And one of the things that I took from it and I loved and has really helped a lot when forgiving those that I've held resentment towards in my life, he lets us know that forgiveness doesn't mean allowing someone to keep doing the same action over and over and over again. All forgiveness is just releasing the resentment that you hold towards someone. When you forgive someone, you have to set boundaries. So that way that person can't continue to violate you anymore. Or that way they know what the standard is. So forgiveness isn't just letting someone back into your sacred space. Forgiveness is letting go of the animosity or the hurt or the pain or whatever it is that's festering and setting boundaries. And the great thing about that is the most important reason why you want to forgive is because when you hold on to those negative emotions, it doesn't hurt the other person. It literally tears you up physically. I read a book, The Body Keeps Score. And in that book, it talks about how trauma affects the body physically. It talks about most people who have autoimmune diseases are people who suffered some type of physical or emotional trauma as children. So the things that you hold on to, they physically impact your body. So that's why it's important to, when you forgive, to forgive and letting the hurt go, but then set the boundaries so that person can't do those things to you again. Is there anything else that anybody else want to talk about? Maybe something that they that resonated with them from the book or from the lesson or anything like that? Got any questions? Feel free to unmute yourself and speak freely.
I mean, just summing up a little bit in when he was talking about not holding that resentment for his parents, or be for them not being together, whatever it is. At the same time, no parent is perfect. And at the same time, I was never really understood the struggle of being a parent until I became one. So now as a dad, I'm just looking like, I know I want to do better than the way I was treated, but every day is a new commitment to doing that, because I thought my dad was impatient, and then sometimes I look at myself, I'm just like, am I repeating that cycle, or am I taking steps to step out of it? So yeah. You muted right now.
I know you've mentioned quite a few times about how you want to exercise for your children what it is that you may not have gotten. So that's what you have to do now. As you know, children, they do like we were all children. We like to push the envelope a little bit. So you still want to have a standard, but at the same time, you want to be patient in applying your standard as a father. But that's what we all here for. To help lift one another up, uplift one another. I know Derek does a great job with his children. I know I called Derek the other day and he didn't answer. He's like, hey, I just want to be in the moment with my children. Like, so Derek might be somebody who we could kind of turn to for some advice on parenting as well. I've witnessed Micaiah with his children. Like, he's very stern with his daughters, but you can still see and feel the love that he has for them. They're very respectable children. They're very disciplined. They know what's going on, but they're not abused. But they do know the standard. So we definitely can all pour into each other when it comes to our children, and being, the greatest fathers for our children that we can be.
And also that goes back to what we was mentioning the other day, like what I learned from that retreat from the man camp, like healing our inner child, like what Alex was saying, like how he don't have patience. A lot of things, once we deal with the things from our childhood, like healing that, changing the timeline, creating your own reality. Like, 'cause a lot of times we are dealt cards that we don't want to pick, we don't want to choose it, but we gotta adjust and adapt and then move from there. And that's how we grow. Like it's times like when it comes down to parents, and I do catch myself as well getting impatient. About to say, guys, just take a breath, and that's when I worked on on breathing. Like inhaling, like box breathing, inhaling, holding it for 5 seconds, then exhaling for 5 seconds. Just being present. Just embracing that moment. And now that I'm in isolation right now, away from my family right now, it gave me a time like the little things that matter. So like every time I'm with my children and my wife, it makes me appreciate just little thing. And then growing up, as a child as well, like just for instance, just to throw a number out there in general, like 12 years old, like honing in on that day, like when things start to go haywire, just giving our parents grace from the things that they was taught, unlearning certain things, constantly being a student, a learner, constantly learning. We are constantly learning, so we got to just give like our folks grace and then forgive ourselves in order to forgive the next individual.
Yes, sir. Alex, I got this book. I'm gonna send it to you. It's called the book you wish your parents had read, and your children will be glad that you did. I'm actually gonna start reading it probably sometime at the end of this month. But if you want me to send it to you, so that way it could just, help you with some of the things that you are going through when it comes to your parenting, I'll be glad to send that to you.
No, without a doubt, that's a good idea. Like I said, I'm grateful for the lessons I was taught, and just taking that and using that to continue the wheel. I mean, even when my parents I feel when my parents are wrong, they weren't wrong because they wanted to be wrong, because they were wrong. They didn't know how to be right in those moments.
Yeah.
So just taking the lessons they did teach me and continuing on that and building on it. I mean, you can't fault someone for not knowing the answer, because they were never taught it.
Yes,
it's
sir.
like someone not knowing the word, but they were never given the Bible. It's just like you can't expect someone to have something they never given. So,
gotcha. Yes, sir. You're right. Aria, you got anything you want to add about anything? If not, that's cool. Mikaya, you got anything you want to add?
No, man, y'all just hit a lot of stuff on the head. Definitely, like whenever it comes to the parents and all, because my reason for my parenting style for homeschooling my children, any of that, is for my dad got locked up when I was 2 months, and I got a brother that's like, he killed himself, you know what I mean? So you know what I'm saying, like 2017. So it's like forgiveness, like that was real, because I grew up hating my dad, like for. Like all of growing up, that's where I got my nickname from, Black Ice, black and cold hearted. You know what I mean? Like I was like a bad child, but at the same time, I would take anybody else fight. I was the most lovingest child, because the only thing I wanted was, you know what I mean, instruction, direction. You know what I mean? Anytime I was receiving that, it's like, all right, I cling to that. I had many fathers, and that's what I've learned growing up. Like everybody raised me. It took that community to raise me, but I understood ultimately who my father was. I forgave my dad. You know what I mean? Ultimately, when I understood who my father was, like we was personifying people who were not even supposed to be the people that, how can I say, like you said earlier, man, they human. We look at them like superheroes or whatever the case may be. But it's like, nah, they truly human. My dad got locked up not just for trying to provide for us. My dad did it big. Like he was doing it big for years. So like that's what I had a problem with. Not because you went out and stole a loaf of bread. You know what I mean? I was mad more so because it's like, bro, you went out, stole a loaf of bread. You know what I mean? Put cars in everybody's yard, like in a whole city. Like, bro, but it's like whenever you think about it, bro, you gotta go big. Like whatever you're doing, you gotta go big. So now it's like I use that as motivation to say, you know, hey, I'm gonna use everything that I didn't have.
Hey, cut out. Okay, got you.
Yeah, I say I'm just gonna use everything like as motivation to fuel, you know what I mean, what it is that I want in life. You know what I mean? And it's been working out so far for me. Like I can honestly say, like, bro, I'm way more advanced in the head than most people in my family. Like I'm the person that made it. Like so now it's more so to be able to pull everybody else up. But I have to, in order to say I made it for them though, it's about the money. See, for me, it's about the knowledge, like the information and the application of it. But now I have to show everybody else by the money factor. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're
gonna get happy, but I'm happy. But the crazy part is I'm happy it came the way it did, bro. Because like the day I was supposed to win and ran in the combine, my school got hit by a tornado.
Oh, dang.
Right. Like, and they told me, hey man, we'll make a push for you. You know, you fast. You can't coach speed. Julio Jones a year under me. So that's what I'm saying. Like, you know what I mean? I went D2 and all that, but like where I'm from and all, he was a year under me. Like he was like little homie type stuff. So it's like, all right, I just was stubborn. I ain't changed certain stuff on my social media. You know, I talk the way I talk. I wasn't gonna change. So yeah, they wrote an article, stuff like that. They left out certain details, but now I understand image, cleaning up that image early as possible. Like, you know what I mean? Taking heed to just information like that. It was a white guy told me, he said, hey man, you need to take certain stuff off your page because I'm writing an article on you, but kind of hard to vouch for you with certain language. And I was just like, bro, I ain't changing nothing. He said, okay. So he sent me the copy of what he was gonna publish. And he published what he published. It was just like, damn, it was night and day. Like, yeah, I should have took it down. Like, I definitely should have took it down. But it's like now understanding that it wasn't meant for me to go then because I'd probably be dead. Or I'd probably be in Kaepernick, however. Versus where I'm at now, I probably could handle some money. Large lump sums of money, I can handle that now.
Yep.
Yeah, man. Because I know what to do with it. It's all about family now at this point, like leaving that legacy.
Yes, sir. You're right.
And I'm proud of you, bro. You know, because that's growth. You know, like being self-aware.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate y'all.
And then, like what you mentioned, like with your father, you know, like how he got locked up when he was 2 months. You said 2 months, 2 years?
Bro, I was 2 months and my brother, I want to say, listen, my birthday, February the 4th, 88. My brother was born September 20th, 88. Before my dad got locked up, bro, he sat my mom down and my brother mom down and said, hey, you're going to name both my sons Michael. My dad got killed 2007, did my first championship game in college. My brother killed this 2017. Shot himself in the head. So that's why I said mental health real. I'm the last Michael left, bro. Like, and I come to find out like that I'm Israel. You know what I mean? So it's like that's when it hit me. Like, yeah, I am Michael Yah Israel. Like, really went through the whole name change process, everything. Like, where I would not be associated with, you know what I mean, any type of negative anything. Like, listen, we have a new path to walk. Like, we have to be upright. And that's what it's really all about. So helping everyone, like everybody benefiting this. We Yasharala in the original sense. We the original man. So now it's time to like stand up and live it.
And that's deep too, because like as I'm learning, you know, like a lot of times, man, like even though we could be born in that family, but not of that family.
Mm-hmm. Thanks.
You know,
bro, listen, I just showed my Salaki, I just showed my daughter, right? You know what I mean? I was talking to her about death, you know, stuff like that. They wound up coming up because she asked about my dad. Then she asked about my granddad. She was like, oh, that's your granddad. Oh, and da-da-da, where is he? So I had to explain to her, you know that. And my daughter's 4, so she just keep asking, like, question after question on it.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, she was like, Dad, are you sad? And I was just like, man, like, we getting to talking about it. But I was like, if you think about it, bro, a pit bull, right? A pit bull. Would you mix a blue nose with a red nose? You wouldn't. You're not going to mix that blood. So it's like, okay, well, even that, tracing back your blood, like you just said, that family aspect of it, who do you come from, bro? Who is your granddad? Understand, those people that you call family did not come from your granddad. You came out your granddad nutsack in a way, you might well say, like 2 times. Like, so we really have to understand that, like, where our lineage come from.
Yeah.
Like, who our bloodline directly is.
Mm-hmm.
Not your cousins, no, none of that. Because they could be of different descent. You really don't know they stock. Like, you really have to understand people's stock. Like, what people, two people actually came together and produced. Like, that matters.
Yes, sir. It do. Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's a whole nother topic right there.
Right. Right. But that's why I said, bro, that family, bro, like, just explaining family. That's why I had to take it to with my daughter, bro. Like it's a lot of people that I say is her uncles, her whoever, because it's like they've been there. You know what I mean? Like, they actually been there. They are family. And it's like, it's deeper than, you know what I mean, that, because these so-called cousins and all, it's like, come on, man. Like, I really look at bloodline. Of my dad's bloodline, I'm the last one left. And I got daughters, but guess what? I need some sons.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's why I said, if my daughter choose right, guess what? They'll never have to change their name, because their name is Israel. That's what I'm saying. Like, so their name should never have to change. Like, if they, like, and that's the Most High, like, Most High will, they should never have to change their last name.
Yeah.
Or whoever they marry should be Israel.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, gentlemen. Well, I appreciate you all. And that was a good conversation at the end there too. Breaking that thing down, getting in there about family. We're gonna be back on this thing tomorrow. Another concept. Mickey, I'm gonna send you the video, the link to the videos. I'm gonna try to get them up on YouTube, but if I can't, I'm gonna send you the links to them, and that way you can kind of catch up to where we at. You want to jump in on this fast?
Come on with it.
And then Alex and Derek, y'all been on, so we're gonna continue this thing on out. We're gonna be back on here tomorrow, 9:30. Also, if y'all know anybody else, feel free to invite people. This ain't, it's not a secret society. Like, you can invite, but one person or 100 people. Well, actually, it's a 100-person limit. But you can invite 1, 2, 5, 10 people. It don't matter, man. Invite people. Invite men that you feel like will benefit from this. Send them the Zoom link. Let them come on in, and we continue to grow and build this thing on out. But I appreciate you all. I'll see y'all all tomorrow. Y'all have a beautiful evening.
Yes,
good. You too, bro.
Thank you.
One day at a time.
Sir.
Indeed.